Okay, beautiful people. Morning from the Netherlands. I hope you guys are doing well. So I'm here today to talk about some important updates. Update number one: I have not been here because I had exams. So a whole lot of things, just exam, my work, my other things I do at the side are free now. So let's talk about study abroad opportunities. I want to address something here many people don't know. The first thing I want to address is for those who intend to study in Austria. I notice many people just joined the channel, and if I do not address these things, is not or these things, it's not gonna make sense because many people won't know. Option number one: if you want to apply to Austria, remember that you need to legalize your documents, and if you do not legalize these documents, your school will not give you an offer letter. Now, how is this legalization like? First thing first, you need to go through the education ministry, the foreign affairs ministry. You pay money to them, I don't know the amount. Then from there, that's when I say you need to go, your transcript and your educational credentials. Then your birth certificate needs to be there as well. The procedure I explained before, but if you guys want, let me know. So below in the comment section, I will explain in detail again. After the ministries, you now take your documents again to the Austrian embassy or the VFS Global. For Cameroonians and Ghanaians, it is VFS Global that is in charge of this procedure. And when you get to VFS Global, you to still pay some money. They will do verification, and if you want, they can do legalization as well. So this is the process until your documents have arrived this stage and the Austrian embassy gives them back to you. 98% of universities in Austria won't give you an offer letter except they see this. So you need to be sure, you need to check. I've talked about if you really want to do the procedure, go to the school website and find out, check where they mention legalization. The reason is because they want to verify, because they know many people are using documents which are not real to apply. So it is what it is. Those who went before us, they spoiled everything. So now that is the procedure, and you need to spend, Nigerians, you are going to spend, like Cameroonians are going to spend like close to 700 euros for this procedure. It's a lot of money, close to like 500k. Some, I think Nigerians, you are going to spend less, but again, if you are moving with family, the procedure is different. So check the Austrian embassy's website and confirm. Now I want to say another thing. Bulgaria, many people do not know about this country. This country recently joined the EU, and schools in Bulgaria are quite cheap, but do not expect the economy in Bulgaria to be like that of these top boys in the European Union, right? All these Luxembourg, Switzerland, Norway, Netherlands, Denmark, and all these top boys, Ireland, Iceland, and the rest. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So if you want to move to Bulgaria, then you should consider the way you have to do your application. Schools are cheap, but there is a procedure. You can get admission before you do this procedure. Sometimes you have to do it before you can apply. When you apply for a school in Bulgaria, the university is going to tell you there is a process. Of course, they are going to inform you. Now, what is the process? I'm not just talking about this. I'm telling you what is on ground, because it's not everything I will say on here, right? If you apply, you will notice that you have to do translation of your documents, and you have to do legalization of your documents, translation of your documents into the Bulgarian language. Now, you also need to understand that the embassy is in Nigeria. I'm now talking to my fellow people from a 237. This process of translation and legalization. Now, you can do the translation in Cameroon with a certified translator. Make sure the person translating that document is a certified translator, because when you take it to the Bulgarian embassy, you are going to book an appointment with them. They have to verify this to be sure of what you did. And again, sometimes the school will say, when you do it, gather every document and send back to us so we verify before you can proceed. So in essence, Bulgaria is cheap. If your money is not big, consider going to Bulgaria and apply for many schools. Apply for many programs in Bulgaria. You can choose maybe 2 or 3 schools, 2 in different cities, and apply. This is advice number 1 I'm going to give to you. Then another option is, remember, for you to do these documents effectively, do the translation and do the legalization, you have to go with your documents. They have to pass through your ministry in your country. If you studied in Nigeria, the documents have to be legalized in Nigeria. First, Ministry of Education, Foreign Affairs. Cameroonians, the same thing. I've explained this procedure many times here. So make sure you pass through the ministries, because if you take them to the embassy, the Bulgarian embassy, of course, there is money to be paid. You have to check all of these details. I know someone who was asked to pay 250 euros for translation and legalization. I think just translation, I'm not very certain. Yeah, this, I'm not saying everything here, right? So please just make sure you verify. But Bulgaria is a country you could consider. For those of you in nursing, like I said, the economy is not that strong, but they are in the EU now, which means a visa to Bulgaria to study can take you to other EU member states and, of course, Schengen countries, right? Now we have done Bulgaria. Let's go to another country. Another country I want to say is Romania. Now, admissions is going to start very soon in Romania. And if I'm you, I will follow what I'm telling you now. Go do your medical certificate, but don't do the medicals now, because it might expire. I don't know if it can expire. Then when you are about to apply for any school in Romania, especially Babes Bolia University, make sure you have legalized your documents. Get your medical certificate intact. Then make sure all your documents are bearing your name, because if they are not bearing your name, it is a problem. And equally understand that admissions is competitive. Romania is also in the EU now, so it's going to be advantage you. These countries are cheap to enter. When I say cheap, I'm talking about proof of funds of less than 7,000 euros, and I'm talking about universities in these places that can charge you maximum 3,000 euros. Okay, because even if they charge you 3,000 euros, it means you have to pay this money when you get admissions in order to apply for visa. Now, if you do not have this money, is going to be a challenge. And also, proof of funds is not that big. They might say you sponsor yourself and you can equally get a sponsor. But in other countries, you need a lot of money. And if you do not have the money, these big amounts, like these heavy sums, right, to enter into all these other places, maybe the Netherlands, Denmark, Ireland, maybe you understand. What are you going to do? Are you going to stay back, or you are going to move to Bulgaria? Now the choice is yours. Like I said, always check requirements for each university to be sure of what you are doing. We go to the next country, Portugal. Portugal, some schools are open now. Remember, for you to study in Portugal, you may not be able to get programs that can teach you in English at bachelor's level. Sometimes some few schools have, but some don't. And why am I talking about Portugal? Because there is a process. If I'm you, I will avoid all this noise I see on here. People talking about job seeker, what. Avoid it and use the academic pathway. There are so many benefits if you move to a country as a student. You are just, when you finish, you now transition to getting a job. Then after that, you transition into PR and then citizenship. But if you go to a country that you will be stuck there for so many years without nothing, without maybe no possibility of getting PR, nothing. You guys know some of these countries. If you go there, even if you live there for 20 years, they will never give you PR, they will never give you citizenship. So you have to know, you might go there to make money to carry you to other places, but you have to put all these things into consideration. For you to apply to Portugal, get your documents legalized from the ministries to the Portuguese embassy, then you begin your application. If you apply to some schools, they will tell you to go and bring the legalized documents. If some schools in Portugal will tell you this, some schools in Austria will tell you that. As a matter of fact, I don't even think there is still a school. There used to be one in Portugal. I'm going to check the details again. That can accept your application, then you do that can give you an offer, then you can now do your legalization stuff before you apply for your visa. But to me, it's needless. It's good to do it now. Start the visa application immediately, right, when you get admission. But if you do not do it now, you get admission before you go looking for appointments to start legalization. Are you sure you are going to get appointment is going to be the big issue here. So guys, put all of this into consideration. Another country I could recommend, especially to my people following me from Kenya, is Slovakia. Or to those who are closer to Kenya, is Slovakia. Or to those who think they can move to Kenya, if you have some money and it's not enough, maybe if you have like 6,000, 7,000 euros, these are countries you should check. If you are the only person sponsoring yourself and you do not have any helper anywhere, Rather than staying home and squandering the money, why not move to these places and go to school? And at the end of the day, it's advantage you because a certificate in Europe will always be useful. This is real facts I'm telling you. Okay, so please put all these things into consideration. Then there are so many other countries I would have loved to touch, but I'm going to go deeply one after the other so that we understand. I've been busy with exams, but now I am back. Hopefully, we will be trying slowly, slowly because it's still not going to be easy, right? But again, we meet soon.